Alright, it's a beautiful morning. This is summer in Australia. This is a summer morning. It's great, it's beautiful, it's cool. A bit of a rainy day. Yeah, climate's changed, deal with it. Anyway, politics is weird. What a weird weekend I had. My cat got sick. I had to take her to the animal hospital. But while I was there, I met a beautiful young woman. And who knows what will come of that. That was pretty nice. This is the Quarry sanctuary. And while I'm the Quarry, this is where I seek sanctuary. It's bloody beautiful. Look, pipe slides. Oh well, you see the Quarry. It's fantastic. It's bloody beauty, mate. It's fucking terrific. Anyway, what's what I was going to say? Politics is a weird fucking animal. In America, they got this system where they're like, make a stupid choice or don't. You're free. You don't have to make a stupid choice, but celebrities will come along and tell you things like, make a stupid choice or die. Which is the worst political slogan I've ever heard. But in Australia, it's different. What they do here is they go, well, make a stupid choice or we will fine you. And you're like, but you're the fuckers that give me the money in the first place. No, well, that's in exchange for your will to live. No, fair enough. If you don't make a stupid choice, we will take some of the money back that we give you in exchange for your will to live. That seems fair. So do I get some of my will to live back? Whereas in communist China or wherever, well, let's say China, because Russia are going with the whole freedom thing. But I don't know if I'm in frame now or what, but anyway. But in Russia, in communist China, they're like, we make our stupid decision for you. That's why China coming to us. I mean, I essentially live in China now anyway. We still call it Australia, but it's China. It's funny because we call people from Hong Kong honkies. Hey, it's the honkies. Anyway, yeah, it just seems a weird system. Make a stupid choice or die. Make a stupid choice or die, motherfucker. Man, that's weird. I think I'd go with a different political slogan, like, I'd prefer live free or die to that. Nah, make a stupid choice or die. Right on. The spectrum. The autism spectrum. You're on the spectrum. I hear women saying this, particularly feminist women, saying this to their men, about their men. I started doing a podcast with this woman, and I was like she's all into feminism and equality, which is why she immediately would not compromise on a name that featured both our names, and went with a name that was basically her. It was her name, podcast. Even though I presented the idea to her, and so I ended up, I kind of knew that from the outset, but it was kind of my last try at working with these people. But I knew from the outset she was going to be inflexible, and she was. Like, they're so into, liberation, but they're really into just control and dominance. It's very interesting. Yeah. So by the third one, I was just like, consider it my gift to you, which was the best way to leave it, because I imagine that pissed her off no end. Your gift to me? Just because it was your idea and you made it happen? Anyway. Yeah, but the spectrum, she would say her husband was being, like, she couldn't operate the technology to upload the files, so she would get her husband to do it, and she would be like, oh, my husband wouldn't do what he's told, he's on the spectrum. And she told me she'd played the podcast to the husband, and I imagine the husband was going, oh, I think he's making some good points here, because I was talking about hierarchy and, you know, how, like, the hierarchy should go God, man, woman, child, and that is the hierarchy for an ordered and happy life. It's pretty fucking simple. I love that thing when they say, if women ran the world, oh, look over here, if women ran the world, there'd be no war. Margaret Thatcher's like, hold my sherry. Queen Elizabeth's like, yes, hold one's sherry. Hold Queen Victoria's sherry as well. Get Jimmy Savile in here and tell him to wash his hands. Those children are grubby. Check it out. Barbecue. Oh, look at these bad boys. Just come down here and fucking arc up the barbie. Well, is there anything fucking better than that? Oh, I guess you got to stick something under there. Like a gas bottle. I don't know. We used to bring our own gas bottles. This thing seems to... I don't know how that works. Anyway. It's a good plan, though. Barbecue. Yeah, so, check it out. It's fucking beautiful today. Climate change at its best. Fucking love it. Look at this. It's gorgeous. Yeah, the spectrum's a funny one. Oh, he's on the spectrum. So it's like whenever they say that to me, they're like, oh, you're on the spectrum. And I'm like, which spectrum? You're the visible light spectrum? It's a fucking spectrum. It goes from 0 to 100. Let's just say it goes 0 to 100. That means even if you're at 0, you're on the fucking spectrum. Or you're part of the spectrum. You're bookending the spectrum. And guess what? If you're not on the spectrum, you're probably dead. I'm going to just take it as a compliment from now on. When anyone says, oh, you're on the spectrum, it's going to be like, oh, thank you very much. Yes, I do exist. I am visible to those with eyes who choose to see. I am very much on the spectrum and loving it. Being on the spectrum, that whole autism thing, oh, they're on the spectrum. Weaponized autism. That's such fucking bullshit. That's just men. That's how men are. We operate through logic and reason to the point where it will fuck you up. If you go out there going, he will not divide us, he will not divide us, then, you know, expect the autistics to come out. That's all we are, is men doing man things, being men with our reasonable man brains. And that's why psychology and feminism has turned this shit into like it's a bad thing. They're on the spectrum. I had a guy yesterday, or no, it was the other day. I don't know, he made some good points, but he was Asian, so that made him trust him a little less. Because not wanting to be racist or anything, but they do have an agenda. They seem to have an agenda. And look, my hands are way too fucking big to be making iPhones. Not to mention my fucking cock. Way too big to be dealing with Asians. So, I don't know. They're a weird bunch, but it makes me trust them less. And trust is one of those things. It's earned. Whoa, people fishing. Fuck. That's brilliant. I don't know if there's anything in the quarry as far as fish and that, but let's take a dip. I don't know what else I was going to talk about. Let's just enjoy the park. Check out how good this park is. This is what mankind's supposed to do. Tame nature. Oh, look at that. A fucking spider did that. Look at that. A spider has taken a dead leaf and is hanging it. Oh, nature is brutal. Wouldn't want to be that leaf. Yeah, man, I don't know. It's weird. Look at that. Fenced in. Cool. I think the only way to protect the innocent is through strength. That, I think, is the point of it, because I wasn't protected when I was a kid, and it sucked. Well, I sucked. But that's another story for another therapy session. Oh, look at that. Look at that. The fucking hills, man. That's the Dandenong Ranges. It's full of dandies and nongs, they say. I don't know, I come from a place called the Ghost Waterhole. There's this whole thing about the indigenous people in this country, and I get it, you know, because I feel like I am indigenous to this country, and according to my book, the big ass Oxford English Dictionary, Australian version, I am indigenous to this country. My generations, my roots go back like 7 generations or something. I've Bohemian roots from Prussia, you see. Yes. It's all well and good to have roots in Russia, but I've been here. People escaped religious persecution. They were Lutherans. They were into nailing things to things. So, oh, this is a walk in the park, mate. Yeah, so what was I fucking talking about? Does it matter? Wish I could capture the audio of this a lot better, because it's magic. I'll see if I can. What was the point I was going to make? I'll see if I can regroup while we have a moment of silent. No, it's stopped now. Can't hear it. Anyway, it's kind of this white noise, the rain on the leaves. I don't know if you can see it, but it's just this misty rain is coming down. It's bloody beautiful. See, this is why they had to change it from global warming. Because every time this happened, they would be like, well, we can't call it global warming. Not understanding that it's all a part of the same thing. Global warming and global cooling. You have summer, winter, and over that, you have larger summers and winters. And over that, you have even larger summers and winters. It's all cyclic. It's almost like someone's got a plan. It's almost like this whole thing's been put into motion and just, there you go. Go live your lives, your pathetic little lives, and go make some money. Money's a great way to fuck shit up. Language is another one. Orwell is a fuckhead. George Orwell, I don't know why everyone, oh, Orwell's great. Oh, the Orwellian existence. Oh, the Orwellian nightmare. Yeah, you're fucking walking into it. He was the Orwellian nightmare. He had just come from narrowly escaping having to fight in World War II. No, World War I, sorry. But he didn't fight. And neither did he fight in World War II. But he famously said, I should like it on record that I do not dislike Hitler. Then he went on to say, but I would kill him if I had the chance. Yes, but you wouldn't get the chance because you were a giant fucking pussy. Is what you were. You fucking observed the First World War and went, oh, that looks romantic. Because he was an intellectual fuckhead. So, oh, that looks so romantic. Fighting in wars like that. Oh, wow. And so then he went off and fought in the Spanish Civil War for like half an hour. No, he went for 6 months. And you know how things are in the retelling. It's always like, oh yes, it was glorious. I was there for 6 years. 6 years of hellish fighting it was. Oh, it was horrible. I don't know why I turned into John Lennon now, but there's probably a point there. If you see Paul, tell him he's a cunt. Oh, look in the mirror, John. Anyway, back to Orwell being a fag. Oh, I hate language policing. And that's the point, is Orwell was the inventor of language policing. In 1984, the rebels are like, oh, look at the new dictionary. Look, we've expurgated more words. Soon there will just be yes, no. In that same book where he's talking about how he doesn't dislike Hitler, but he would kill him. Oh, what's that? There's a yellow bar up the middle. Don't know what that means. In that same book, he's talking about we must learn to talk down to the little people, because quite honestly, they don't understand what we are saying because we use big words. It's an article from the New English Journal of something or whatever. I'll read it later on. But yeah, the thing was, he went off to the Spanish Civil War for 6 months until he was wounded by a sniper. You sure it was a sniper? You sure your gun didn't just go off, or it was one of your mates got sick of your bullshit and was like, let's frag this cunt? I reckon that's more likely what it was. Because he would have been very much on the back lines with the other intellectuals who were over there fighting for Spain. And I think Hemingway went over there and he got serious about it. He was in there. Ah! I mean, he came home with wounds. Orwell came home with a story. But that was his whole dystopian nightmare, was the Hitler. But Hitler was trying to, he's like, I will dominate. Which is, that's a little fucked up. But that's what Orwell was railing, and his way of railing against Hitler was rather than fighting that kind of authoritarianism, his way was, well, let's just use fewer words. Let's invent hate speech. And the fewer words we can use, the less we can express ourselves. And that way, no one will ever talk about the again. And there will be no hate in the world. And we'll have all the money. I dare not speak his name lest he appear before me. These fuckers. But that's what Orwell was. Orwell was a fag. Look at that. Look at that. Does this seem like a dystopian fucking nightmare to you? Well, it's raining, I'll give you that, but other than that, this is fucking beautiful. There's no authoritarian horse shit. Like, life is really fucking good. Even when it's raining, especially when it's raining. Life is good. Oh, check out that bad boy. Oh, hang on, I have to... Oh, I can't see it. Dead trees to me look like cathedrals. They're very beautiful, but my favourite one the other day was across the road from where I live, and just where I live there's a childcare centre, and there's this big tree, and I look at it and it's like a looked like a cathedral, and yeah, it was like they cut it down is the point. And I got a little upset. I went out there going, it's not dead, look at it. It's got green stuff popping out the top. That means it's alive and well. It's funny because there's a St. John the Baptist church on the other side of me. And on the other side there's a Armenian drop-in centre. So that's the thing about religion. People need it. If you don't need it, lucky you. If you do need it, lucky you. But they got all the information. They're hoarding it away in the Vatican. Which, you know, I think it would be nice if they shared it. They could even share it on PDF files. Yes, the Vatican's favourite file. I don't know, man. PDF files from the Vatican. What a sordid lot. Look at this. Anyway, as they were cutting the tree down, because it's across from a childcare centre, they said it's dead and it's dangerous to the children. And I thought, what a profound statement. That cathedral is dead and it's dangerous to the children. And there was a young guy that came over and talked to me about it, and he's a really cool dude, you know? And he was like totally calm. Like the older guys were like, fucking get out of there, you fucking, that's how people get killed. And I was like, yeah, standing up for a dead tree. That's how I'll go out. And the young guy just came over and goes, oh look, yeah, I get it, come walk with me. And and he made total sense. And I was like, yep, okay, the tree's got to come down, and all that's left is the stump. And that, I think, is the state of the church, unless they release the files. Why don't you release the files, Catholic Church? Why don't you share the information with us? They'll never do that, because information is power, you see. And we are just too stupid and foolish to know all the information. So share the fucking information, you cunts. That would be my message to the Catholic Church. Like, I get it, you're dealing it out. You're like, here's a bit, now kiss my ring and give me money. You found a great way to make some money, earn some coin. And ain't that what this game about, player? Making dollar bills? Ooh, caution. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, I'll get off the subject of the whole thing and how it's all the same thing and whatever. Look at the bluestone. Look at the bluestone. But yeah, there is an order to life. Just got to figure out what you want.